Meat Starburst. Here's the full recipe. To start off with, don't throw anything away. Save all your scraps. What I had in my freezer was 3 chicken carcasses, gizzards, livers, and chuck roast scraps. I added some onions and carrots that were past their prime. Broiled that in the oven at 500 degrees for an hour. Dropped everything in the slow cooker and topped it off with water. Then I added a dash of apple cider vinegar to help break down the bones. The slow cooker went on low for at least 18 hours before I filtered everything off. This way I can extract as much of the nutrients and collagen as possible. And now I'm going to use my fancy fat separator to help clarify the broth and prepare it for the next step. Now you remember when I said don't throw anything away and save all your scraps. That goes for the fat too. It goes in the freezer as a good cooking oil replacement. Next I put my broth back in the crock pot, covered in cheesecloth for a good 24 hours until it rendered off most of the water. And then I poured it into a pan on the stove for its final rendering. At this point a lot of people questioned why I added sugar. When you condense a broth this far, it can concentrate some bitter notes. Sugar helps mitigate that. Not only does turmeric have health benefits, but it also adds color. Celery salt and garlic powder impart a savory flavor, and I dumped quite a bit of salt in here. This is going to help with preservation, but you have to remember that the small amount of bouillon that you add to whatever you're cooking should be really concentrated. After I put it in the refrigerator for a few hours, I pulled it out to cut up. And if you're wondering how long the shelf life is, that would all depend on how much water you evaporated. I'd be comfortable leaving it out over a year, but you could always pour it in a jar and leave it in the freezer. Personally, I felt the calling to individually wrap these, because there ain't nothing cuter than